Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're finally live. This is Babel, and I'm now bringing you the Philippines finals. Now, I'm sounding a little bit sick today, so I hope you guys enjoy the cast regardless, and forgive me for random coughs and just in between here and there. I caught a cold last night on the way back home. Just came back from Macau. Yep, was there on a pretty good trip. I'll talk more about it along the way, but here we actually have a game between Renovatio Team 1 as well as Altair Esports. So we're now going into game, or rather draft. And this is actually going to be pretty exciting for me because Renovatio, in case you guys don't know, this is the team that represented Philippines in the 2015 Road to BlizzCon. And they were under a different brand name previously known as Bibinka, and they're also the team that went into the regional finals with nobody actually thinking that they are gonna win. But they actually thought they're actually gonna end in fourth place. But they actually didn't meet whatever that was expected of them. Sorry, a little bit distracted by this site here. And what's gonna happen actually is what actually happened was that we had an interview with four different teams from four different countries, and the Philippines team, Bibinka, is the team that said that they actually expected themselves to end up in fourth place. But then they're also the team that practice 7 hours a day, and they're very, very much involved with competing. So they got second place, and they also took a game of Relics with a Zagara Zeratul combination, and I think that worked out really well. So to cut the long story short, Renovatio had a bit of a roster change with Misery Pro joining into the team right now, and I think it's actually Jumpy Lion that has that formed a new team in Renovatio Team 2. Do you know that there's three different Renovatio teams here? They're all under the same gaming organization in the Philippines, and that's really, really unique to the Philippines and really, really good for the scene, of course. Now, we've actually got Altair here versus Renovatio. Don't really have much of a backstory for Altair for you guys. That's also a pretty new esports organization. I think that's in the Philippines. And here we actually have the first game, best of three, that's going to happen on Sky Temple. Now, the bans are already being decided long ago. It's Greymane Jaina up against Rhaegar Kel'Thas on the side for Altair. We've got a Li Ming Diablo Tyrande combo. Very old school. I like that a lot. Now, Li Ming does a lot of damage, but this is where Renovatio can actually have a good shot at countering against a Li Ming. That's to pick dual support. Dual support is one of the best way to go about this. Because while she can do the damage, she's not able to kill if you have like Tessida, which is what they do have on that side for Renovatio. And it's going to be really good if they actually have Uther as well, because they got that ETC. So you can imagine that Mosh Pit with Divine Shield, that's going to connect really well onto anyone actually in the front line or back line, doesn't matter. That's going to do a lot of work as well. They got Zagara for setups. So I really like this ETC Zagara combo. We've actually seen Relics pull this off in the Singapore finals last weekend. And that's actually really, really awesome to see as well. The ETC Zagara combo going out there doing a lot of work. And they also just picked up Sonya. Now, no Uther yet. So this could be signs that it's going to be a solo support on the side of Renovatio. Up against Tyrande, I think that's okay. But do take note that Tyrande Diablo is a very roam-centric composition. So that's going to definitely give them the early game advantage. And with ETC and no clear burst damage dealer on that side except for Sonya, pardon me, but in the early game, it looks a little bit weak for Renovatio right here. But I know this team executes this draw really well, and it's very early into the stage of this competition right here. And that also means that Renovatio is probably want to hide some secret strategies along the way before you go into the regionals, or even before you go into the games that actually matter. Here they are in the upper bracket, the first game. They can afford to play a little bit unconventional. I think that's fine. Johanna going to get picked up here by Altair as well. I like that. That's Dual Warrior, and that's really, really, really outdated for me. I like the fact that they got a Tyrande, but I think that this is like the pre-leaning patch to go for this kind of a composition. And even then, you have the Asian teams, you have the Chinese teams going for two supports. So going for two warriors, it's not that bad, really. Sky Temple's a pretty big battleground. You got Johanna going in with the Condemn build. That's going to really mop up the creeps pretty well. But I don't really see the synergy here. There's also the Rainer pickup at the end. Right-click build coming to play. That's a good split between Rainer's right-click as well as Li Ming's burst magical damage. The thing to note about Renovatio here is that they also don't really have a very strong damage dealer. Jaina's gone. So they got that Sonya, they got that Zagara. Zagara, I would say that some of the best Zagaras I've seen are actually going to be able to do up to 140 plus 1,000 damage. That's really, really good on the hero damage counter. But no burst. That's the weakness of the Zagara. Actually, we're going to see the Uther here. Fantastic. So this is going to be the standard Uther Tassadar lineup. The reason why I picked Sonya is also just to counter and not let Altair get that Sonya. And I was thinking of some Sonas apparently. But the Sonya, Diablo, and Tyrande, that would have been really devastating. So I would say this draft is actually looking really decent here for Renovatio. But in a nutshell, just note that with Uther ETC, you can expect some good mosh pits to go out there, and that's really going to do a lot of work. Sonya would probably going to have to do majority of the damage coming to this play here. They also got 2 range damage, or rather 1.5 Tassadar, but that's going to have to be the Archon Tassadar. And if you want to go for Foss Wall, that's actually still okay. Zagara, the problem with her is that she does not have burst. You're going to need Sonya to mop up the enemy. And if you look at that part of this draft, though, Leeming's pretty much mobile, so I'm not going to expect Sonya to be able to go in and burst down Leeming easily. Plus, she's almost always guaranteed going to be in the back line. There will be those teleport opportunities for her to stay safe. Raynor is probably going to be the only target here, along with Tyrande that Renovatio really wants to take down. The objective here for Renovatio really just to take down the Tyrande. I think that's good. For Altair, the objective here is to prevent that Divine Chill Mosh Pit combo. Do they have a good counter against that? I think they got their Raynor, so it should still be okay. Raynor's been picked up for one reason, the counter against the ETC. I like that a lot. Thing about Raynor is that he is actually going to be going for that, I would say, pretty much okay damage build firsthand. That's going to be really, really important. And also, Raynor should be looking at a lot of good range AoE damage, including Hyperion. Nobody really plays Raynor's Raider these days. That's the thing here that's a little bit sad. It first came out in the Korean scene. Everyone loved it for a little bit. And then it just became Hyperion all the way. That's actually kind of sad. So you definitely will be expecting Relentless Leader, which means that there's no Giant Killer. That's a little bit risky. You have 2 very tanky warriors in the front line for Renovatio. Maybe not so much for Sonya, but ETC is pretty tanky, along with the double neck guitar going in as well as the Rolling Like a Stone. That very standard power slide build. That's going to be really good for ETC to stay alive. So those parts pretty much important. Do know that ETC should also be looking to go for Spell Shield because of Leeming's presence at level 13 and level 16. I'm actually going to be expecting him to go for Imposing Presence because that will really help counter against Raynor as well. Pretty tricky though. It is not going to be easy for both sides. This game is just going to be split down the middle. And I would say that it is really going to be up to the execution point here. I'm not going to be expecting an easy game for sure. The other alternative talent for ETC will be the Showstopper. I think that 25% damage reduction is actually going to be very important against Raynor, against Leeming, and the likes of those heroes on the side for Altair. But it looks to be a pretty decent draft. I like that a lot. Thing about Sky Temple is that you have structural buildings as like a little bit like a hit point. So the moment you lose a lot of buildings and you go for objectives, and the enemy goes for the objective, you will be in a lot of trouble. So you really want to make sure that you have a bit of push mechanic. And right here, that's where you see Zagara being a huge important first pick on the side for Renovatio. Going for Leeming, it's more like a standard hero across all battlegrounds. Very good, very consistent. We've seen some really good damage counters coming out from Leeming over the course of the Malaysia finals last weekend. And the Singapore finals as well. Actually, not so much on the Malaysian finals. I think more on the Singapore finals. ZSN played Leeming to an absolute perfect T there. 140,000 damage. Really, really awesome results. Okay, so we're now actually going into game. Game number 1. I'm actually going to have to do a bit of solo cast here. My co-caster, Arctic Shadow, is unfortunately not able to make it. He's also down with a bit of a illness as well. It's just the flu season, guys. So please stay healthy. Please drink lots of water. and all of a sudden it just looks like they have promotion boards like commercial. Shout out to sponsors, by the way. We got Razer, we got PLDT, Sharp, and of course our streaming partner XSplit with the awesome Gamecaster and Broadcaster software that they brought about to make all of this possible. We are actually having a bit of a problem here with the overlay once again, guys. It looks like the last patch uh, is not going to allow this to go smooth. So there's no way I can fix this unless there's a remake. That's really sad. And I think this is a bit of an oversight on our part. I do apologize for that. But we're going to see what we can do, though. So just to go through the names here, I'm actually getting a visual update of Altair Esports, the lineup here for them. It is actually going to be Bubble Time, Bit, Rai, Bellomi, and Dread. Now, all of you guys who play Quick Match should know that Bellomi is actually a pretty famous person to have in the Quick Match scene. Definitely one of the better ones around. And definitely one of those that has got a little bit more of a synergy. We're actually going to ask for a remake so that we can fix this problem. In case you guys are wondering, if you actually have a solution, please let me know, because this is going to be exciting. This is not the first time we got this problem. So is there a way you can change the UI mid-game? That's the thing that's the thing I'm asking you guys if you do know about it. Okay, guys, we are actually gonna wait for the remake. It's gonna be a fair bit of a time. Actually, I think it's just about a few minutes. All the players have already just left the game. It's gonna come back real soon. I do apologize for this small little problem here. But it's exciting. This is the Philippines finals. Now, a lot of guys have actually asked me on Twitch, what is the deal here? And with this entire regional stuff, I'm actually being asked to do something here. But I cannot control the game, guys. Okay. This is actually interesting. So I'm actually going to just round up what this finals is about. So the Philippines finals, we are looking for 2 teams to represent Philippines in the SEA finals that's going to happen next weekend on the 5th and 6th of March. The top dogs for this competition definitely has to be Renovatio. And Renovatio Team 1 with Haha, VYY, Hiskoa, Stronger. The only new addition to this team, like I said before, it's going to be Misery Pros. And we are actually going to have to wait for one of the players to... we're actually going to have to wait for one of the players to resume the game, because there's no way I can resume this game, guys. So I'm just telling the producers right now what they should be communicating to the people there. I'm actually in Singapore, so I'm not on ground, and there's a little bit of a lead time between the communication of the studio as well as the people that's running the tournament in the offline venue in the Philippines. Right. A few more things to note here, guys, is that this is actually 4 hours later than intended. So we do apologize for the huge delay. What happened just now is that there was a building somewhere in the Philippines which was the intended venue that actually did not have internet connection for today. So there's a bit of a venue switch up, and that's what's causing the delay. So we are now actually going to be going into a remake. Hopefully it's going to be soon. Still going to have to wait for one of the players to resume the game before it gets into that automatic DQ mode. We'll have to see. So do give these guys a little bit of space. They have been dealing with a lot of technical issues this entire morning. So give us that understanding, please. Appreciate the support so far. You guys are really amazing. Coming in and waiting for 5 hours for Heroes of the Storm. And this is only SEA, so I'm really, really, really moved to have you guys show us this amount of support. And on behalf of the organizers, I do apologize for all the delays that has been caused so far. And here's to a really smooth stream for the rest of today. I'm also very much excited about the NA scene. In case you guys are wondering, Dreadnought as well as Zoya and Gillyweed and Solid Jig's going to be casting that in, I think, under 12 hours. So that's going to be really, really awesome. That's a really sick and awesome casting crew. So they are really, really one of those, you would say, casters that actually have a real good deal of insights to bring it up to speed. And NA regionals, it's gonna be exciting for sure. You just saw Jake tweet out this morning. Of course, this morning being in Singapore time, uh, you just saw him tweet out the fact that they actually saw a screen which Cloud9 took a game of Naventic. Naventic, if you guys don't know what that is, that's the team that's previously known as Bob Ross Fan Club. And although I'm not casting the NA games, I'm actually very much in tune with the scene there because I got a lot of friends there as well. And the new Cognitive looks really, really good. I really like them a lot. So finally, we just left the game. We're now going to wait for the remake lobby, and we'll go into that one. And hopefully, we're going to have pretty easy time moving forward. This is going to be Sky Temple. And definitely, if you ask me here, the advantage should be going to Zagara's team because she should be able to provide that extra X factor in push mechanics going forward into the games today. Hold on, I'm getting a note somewhere. Okay. So I'm actually gonna have to change a bit of setting here. I do apologize. I'm not the best guy that can actually talk and do things at the same time. So we'll have to see how that works. Okay. So once we're ready, we're going to game. Renovatio, like I said, is probably gonna take the top spot. In the second spot, though, that's a spot that teams will actually have to play for. I'm not saying that there is absolutely no way that any other team can take the top seat out of the Southeast Asia regionals. And in case you guys are wondering what's at stake here, a lot of prize money, Razer peripherals, as well as the fact that a top seed will be going into the SEA regional with a slightly better seeding. You'll be placed in a group that have got a bit of a mix with, based on ranking points, I think, of the 2015 circuit per country. You actually be placed in a slightly better group. And in the SEA finals, you really want to make it out of the group stage to go into the finals day 2. It's actually a 2-day event, 5th and 6th of March, so do tune in for that one. That's going to be really exciting. The Singaporean teams have already been decided. It's Resurgence in the top seed, as well as Relic in the second best seed. And the Malaysian teams, we just also decided last weekend. And definitely FFKG is the best team out of that one there. And the next best team that they also have coming out of Malaysia, I do recall it. It just slipped me, actually. The Malaysian team, I think it is actually... Okay, correct. Prospecta. Thank you very much. So Prospecta, Malaysia. That's a really weird team name. I was actually thinking of something along the line of like, nothing to lose, but I forgot that they lost. And I've been on holiday for a week, guys, so you gotta give me a break, right? So still waiting for the members to join into the lobby, but Sky Temple's a pretty good battleground. I like this battleground a lot. The problem here with this draw coming up from both teams is that it's not looking like it's actually going to be very objective driven. Definitely Reina's going to have an advantage going forward, and Zagara as well, because they all rely on engagements, big 5v5 opportunities, and that's what the objective is going to provide here. On the other side, though, that Diablo Toranda combo, they really need to pick up a kill before level 4, and also they really need to pick up a total of 4 kills, I think, before level 10 at least. That's a lot to roam. That's a lot that they actually have to provide before they go into this play here. So I'm getting some updates once again, and it seems like we're met with a bit of delay. Right, so tomorrow, guys, is the Thailand National Finals, of which we are going to have a pretty neat and, I think, succinct broadcast tomorrow. It's not going to be a long full day qualifier. And I'm actually being asked to leave this room again. Okay, so what's going to happen tomorrow is that we're going to decide 2 teams to represent Thailand, and in total you'll have 8 teams playing the SEA finals, just like 8 teams that's currently playing in the Los Angeles North American finals. There's 8 teams that's playing in SEA so far. Only 4 has been decided. Today is where we're actually going to see 4 more, I think. 4 more teams coming into this competition, going into the winners bracket. Two is going to represent Philippines. Two is going to come from tomorrow's Thailand games, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited because this is spring finals, man. This is going to be really, really fun. So waiting for the lobby invite once again. If you got any question you'd like to ask, let me know. And I will be here to answer all the questions. Of course, I think the stream just went down. It died. I think the stream died. So in case you guys are still listening to this broadcast, we are looking into it. In case you don't see the stream, kindly spam the chat like you are doing right now. It's been a really slow day, but it's all gonna be worth it. All right, so gonna wait for gonna be waiting for them to go in. Somebody in chat just said, I just quoted me, let's hope for a smooth stream for the rest of the day, and this just happened. It's a big picnic. It's a big picnic. Yes, I'm actually in Singapore, guys. So this is the country with the best internet connection in this region. Why did the stream die? No idea. I got boys to fix it. Not my nothing I can do here. They're gonna fix the stream. Meanwhile, we're gonna wait for Sky Temple to load up once again. It's finally gonna begin. I'm excited. Renovatio, they've got a lot of proof here. They're definitely the favorites to go into this competition. If our team can take it out, take them down, that's gonna be exciting for me. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, the Philippines finals, game number 1, match 1. We're now looking at Altair Esports on the left. On the blue team, Rai going to be playing as the Torunda. Bubble Time onto the Johanna. We also got Bit playing as the Liming. And on the top side, Bellomi playing as Diablo. Dread onto the Rainer. On the red team, though, we got Renovatio Team 1. And this is the team that's favorite to win this competition. We got ex-Bibinka plays VYY. And I think he's actually playing as the Sonia. Hiskoa going to be playing as the Zagara Haha onto the ETC. Stronger as Uther. Misery Pro, that's the latest edition. 2016 latest edition here. He's going to be the Tessadar on his lineup. All right, so straight off the bat, Altair is not going for the sentry point, and that's actually a little bit weird for me. They got 2 wars on that side, and I think that combo is definitely a lot easier to pull off than whatever Renovatio can provide. So they should be going for the early game advantage, but it seems like they're not. Very interesting position here by Bellomi and Rai to be hiding in the shrubs, and all of a sudden you see a flying sentinel just go out there. So definitely Renovatio know what's up right here. They will be pulling back. Not really sure what the sentinel did there, but it definitely sounded the alarms. And you can see that everyone on that side just pulled back out. And Torunda nowhere close. Great start by Bellomi, but nobody finished that up. And you also see the stun onto a minion instead of a hero. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, it's going to be VYY up against Bit here. So far, it looks like VYY is having a bit of a trouble, but that's natural up against Liming. Liming's definitely going to have a slightly easier time. Haha swings by, looking for the power slide, lands it really well. VYY looking for a bit extra position. Nice face melt, and Bit all of a sudden in a lot of trouble. Stronger on that flying carpet will still go down at the end. Definitely good pick up there. The Psionic Storm by Tessadar did the job. So Renovatio is going to have the first early lead here in game number 1. And Altair, they are actually going to be pulling back. You see the temple spawning just nicely when Renovatio has got the lead here. And all of a sudden, you also see both teams going for the objective. Already, Sonia's at the bottom lane. It seems like Renovatio is not too concerned with picking up on temple. They already got the mid temple, which I think is the higher priority here. The top temple is not going to be very important. It is important, but not that important because of the healing well factor. Now, we know that there will be mercenary camps pushing the top lane. Some teams really like to pick the top temple, pick the mercenary camps, and all of a sudden, you're going to have an easy fort. But I actually don't like that thinking because all that thought, Bellomi, a little bit of trouble there. Seems like his squad just barely out of range there. We'll be able to pick up the kill at the end, though. And back to the reasoning on why the top temple is not as important as the mid temple because of the healing well here. You see, the mid temple, if you pick up all of the charges, you can actually take out the healing well. And in a big battleground like this, rotation between lanes, you will always need to tap the well. And a key essential moment between map rotations and what makes you a lot faster. Leeming, by the way, bottom does a fantastic somersault and just died there. But we were talking about a healing well point, so you really want to rotate across the lanes. That's why the mid temple is a lot more important than the top temple. Zagara's going to be here. She's going to provide a lot of a push, and it's not going to be easy. Altair already finding themselves one level down. Bubble time, mid lane, up against Stronger. A little bit of trouble there, and the stun will actually go down, but it's not going to be enough for a kill. There's no damage dealer in his vicinity. And in the bottom lane area, you could also see the Siege Giants getting picked up already by Renovatio. We're going to talk about talents in a bit when they hit level 7. So it's going to be one shot, but so far, it does seem like it is a very standard build, except that Tyrande went for full-on Sentinel build. And that's actually going to provide PS as well, and I like that. But I feel that it's not as ideal. Level 7 should be Luna Blaze there for Tyrande. I like Eternal Retaliation a lot, though, so that's one pickup on the side of Johanna that is probably really just going to be good in most team fights. Diablo with a standard talent build as well. Raynor now going in for the right-click build, which is a marksman. No give me more, should not be fight or flight. It should be the... Well, actually, should be something a little bit easier. The Revolution Overdrive. Bellomi in a little bit of trouble there. Manages the Shadow Charge to get out of trouble. And Dread pulls back once again. Haha gonna actually also pull back. So top lane, we got ourselves the... We got ourselves the Bruiser Camp pushing here for both sides. But Zagara up against Leeming. Leeming's going to have a little bit of a good siege effect. She does have the Arcane up and the Magic Missiles that does a lot of work, just like you just saw here. But he scored because, well, that is a Zagara. Zagara naturally wins all 1v1. Now, bottom area, big fight happening here. Bubble time, a little bit locked into position there. Not the best on the beam, but it seems like Diablo's going to be just within reach of backup. Dread, meanwhile, takes a lot of damage from VYY, pulls back out. Bubble time once again in a lot of trouble. Very, very questionable retreat route there by the Johanna player. VYY gives chase. A fantastic Lunar Flare, saves the teammate. And so far, still no kills from their last fight. 3 kills so far for Renovatio, but they didn't manage any takedowns just now. We just saw the red team going in for the objective with the top lane pretty much pushed out here as well. Leeming's going to be here, so it seems like Altair is not going to contest this temple once again. And on the side for Renovatio, it seems to be a very easy bottom fort as well. His core is definitely going to come in here to finish this one up. Mid lane's going to take a lot more of a damage as well going in, moving forward. Bellomi, a little bit of trouble once again. Does not have the best support around, actually, for the rest of the team. Ryan now dropping a lot of HP Stronger, looking for the stun, but a little bit out of position there. Dread with the penetrating round is definitely going to push him back. Guys, do not confuse yourselves. This is not Dreadnought. This is a Southeast Asian version, his brother. It's just Dread. So bubble time now. Mid lane, a little bit of trouble here, but not much for damage dealer in the vicinity. Should not be an easy kill. And it seems like Johanna's going to be fine. Some extra damage going out there in the form of exchanging mana. Don't like that. Going more into talents right now, it seems like Johanna just decided that Conviction is not worth it and picked up something else. That is actually going to be the Crusade Marches on. You barely see this. In fact, normally people go for better momentum, but this one here lowers the cooldown of Iron Skin by 1.5 seconds, specifically the Iron Skin. So Johanna's going to be a lot more tankier. I don't think that's needed because you actually have a Diablo on your team as well, and he's actually going for the Soulstone build that really will help him survive and tank up a lot of damage coming out from the red team. Meanwhile, for Leeming, it's going to be Triumph V-Rate as well as the Zay's Vengeance. So this is the standard Arcane up build. For Renovatio, they just picked up the Heroics here, and it is going to be the Mosh Pit. We're also seeing Rough of the Berserker, and look what it is. It's Archon, guys. They know they don't have the damage. They're not going for Force Wall. I think Force Wall is a good to have here, but they really need that damage. On the side for Zagara, it's 100% Devouring Maw, also Uther with the Divine Shield. So here's where Altair has a point to prove. They just got the Apocalypse. This is the standard Diablo combo. Getting spotted out like that. A little bit of trouble there for Bellomi. But a great Lunar Flare once again disengages the ETC. And not really sure what Hyperion is doing here. A bit of a zealous, but this looks like a standard flyby in Fetus position right there. Top area, VYY taking a lot of damage. The ping's going out, and also going to see the Blizzard Shit connecting, but that's a Sonya, and that's not easy to take down. Bit there on the Leeming. Should have been able to pick up the kill regardless. Misery Pro popping that Archon already And there goes the stun from Haha. It seems like Dread's in a lot of trouble. He pops the Adrenaline Rush. Will also take the fall. Down goes Rainer. And it's a one-man down position on the side of Altair. Renovatio here with 5 men still up and a 2-temple phase happening. Should be a pretty easy position for both teams to go for. Definitely blue team should be able to contest at least 1 temple. But look what Renovatio is doing here. Altair is going for the top temple and Renovatio just being plain old greedy. Not sure how this is going to work out. Going to be very careful. The combo did not work out there against the Tessadar. Not because of the dimensional shift, but rather the timing's a little bit off as well. And Bellomi taking a bit of a damage from VYY. He's doing a great job holding up the aggression here. 1 against 4. Tessadar is just lending those Psionic Storm. Great Arcane up connecting. Devarima also just connecting onto the Diablo. VYY in position. Stronger. Wants to pick up a stun. Does not have the best spot. Apocalypse will go down and it connects beautifully. Zagara out of position. Will go down. Zagara's already gone. Trades for the Diablo. Arcane up connects on the backline but has not killed that Tessadar. And you also see the Luna Flare going out here but it's not going to be enough. Sonya goes in. Mops up Johanna. Looks like it's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. And at the same time ETC with the free, absolutely 100% free temple in the bottom lane. This does not look good for Altair Esports, and this is exactly why Renovatio proves once again that they are the team to beat in this competition. Looking at more talent options going to play here for the red team, Renovatio. It looks like it's going to be Face Smelt going in, and that's going to be some extra slow. A Mystica Spear upgrade on that Sonya on the side for a standard Tessadar with Leeching Plasma. The shield's going to be important. You also have got the Dimensional Shift upgrade. That's actually going to be the Dimensional Warp, I think. Pression's going to come in as well. Actually, that's Pression. Dimensional Warp is at level 16. Okay. Mosh Pit does connect. Divine Shield, beautiful execution. Only on Leeming, though. And Joanna buying a lot of time in the back line there. Lack of damage. That's because they don't have Sonya in the right position. Stronger lands a great stun, but they really want to just force plays off the summoning point right now. Bellomi, once again, goes in. Stronger picks up the camp, and it looks like the damage has been done. 3 men down on the side of the blue team. Make it 4. And Leeming's all that's left. All of a sudden, this does not look good for Altair at all. They're going to pick up the camp. They're going to have a pretty easy time pushing the top lane. They're already 1 talent tier up. Maybe we can't even make it 2 talent tier up. Disintegrate going to be picked up here for Leeming. And nothing too special. There's also a bit of a lack of synergy coming out here from Altair Esports. The top fort is already gone. The top keeps definitely going down as well. Now we got Bubble Time going in for Condemn, connecting on 3 to 4 targets. That's going to be a very short cooldown on his second Condemn. There we have the second one, beautifully executed, but Bellomi with the Shadow Charge. Not much of a damage really from Altair. They can't even take this fight. VYY just playing very aggressively, pulling back right now. 16 against 12, and Renovatio, they're very, very good right now. They look really good in this game. Seems like a pretty easy 1-0 position for the red team to adopt. Meanwhile, here for Altair, it looks like yet another rotation down to the bottom lane area. Does not have much of an impact here, but Renovatio of absolute dominance. Probably wants to knock on to the boss camp. That would actually really work here for them because they're 1 talent tier up, and you finally see the Relentless Leader. That's going to be picked up by the Rainer, and you also got Shrink Ray by Tyrande, the Burning Rage coming out from Johanna. You also see Leeming going for Glass Cannon. Normally, you won't pick Glass Cannon. I don't think that's the talent to pick up here if you're going for the full-on damage build. Would actually really prefer a little bit more sustain going in here. I mean, Glass Cannon is really good if you really want to do damage, but at its current state, you really want to just change things up, shift the gear up a little bit because you're not in a good spot. Misery Pro going in once again with the Psionic Storm. VYY goes in, lands a fantastic Seismic Slam. Bubble Time takes a little bit too much damage right here. Pops also the Apocalypse coming out from Diablo, connecting onto the backline, but still, that's already Joanna gone, and Diablo is the next target, looking to drop very quickly like a fly. Will go down. Misery Pro taking way too much damage on Sonya, still at full HP, dominating the backline. Rai is being left for dead. Rainer's gone. Tyranda's gone. The stun does not connect onto Leeming, and that's the target that we will also see Kitty Perry about, the one that got away. Meanwhile, everyone on Renovatio is going to be knocking onto the core. Bit throwing out a magic missile like it's actually going to matter or make a difference there. The disintegrate's going to go down as well. Here comes Johanna. Could not actually be a game-ending moment, depending on what the rest of the teammates do here. No Apocalypse for the next 60 seconds. Bit dropping way too much HP, but still Zagard going to work here. Below me with a shadow charge on the correct target, ETC, with just a bit of repositioning. Seems like it is still going to be a game. And ladies and gentlemen, the decisive game number 1, we got Renovatio picking a pretty easy win here up against Altair. Just once again proving how good they are and the difference in the skill of both teams. We are actually channeling up a replay, just like what you normally do in front of the tribute in Cursed Hollow. Here we go. So this is the replay of the last fight. Just notice how Renovatio played this fight here. They were split, but that's only because they knew that they had the right players, the right heroes in the right places. The targets in front are all highly survival based. Like ETC is very tanky, Tessador is not going to die, and they're just going to be a huge distraction. They kind of chopped the fight in two, while the damage dealers behind it, Sonya, the Zagara, did a lot of work. And we just fast forward to the last fight here. Very, very good double instant replay. Did not see it coming, but his score also a little bit out of position there. The core finally dropping, and that's a very decisive game. It really is. With this much of a skill gap, one does wonder what the rest of the teams is going to have to pull out to try and beat Renovatio Team 1. We're now actually going for a bit of a break, and we'll be back once again in just a few minutes for game number 2 between Renovatio as well as Altair Esports. This looks like it is going to be Renovatio's bracket to lose. And for Altair, they really going to have to pull out a rabbit out of a magical hat, because this is not going to work. They had a pretty okay draft. I think it's very reactionary based, but they don't have the game plan. You don't see the Diablo, you don't see the Tyrande roams, you don't see the advantage that those heroes provide. And Sky Temple, it's not a good battleground to have this combo specifically because of one simple reason. It's a pretty big one. It's a big battleground. So if you want to pick up this combo, you're going to have to rotate a lot more. And if you look at the enemy side, they were very much just sticking like glue. They had 2 support, which means that they can actually keep 2 lanes alive. And that also means that it's not going to be easy to kill a Tessadar. It's not going to be easy to kill a lane which you have Uther in as well. It's probably going to be the bottom lane that at the end of the day is going to be a viable gank option. And that really restricts a boss attempt. Also see the Pharaoh Spirit going in. Got to be very careful. You don't want to step out of boundary there. Jumpy Lion going to give the chase. Ring of Frost doesn't connect. Apocalypse does go down. Connects on 2 targets. Only a Su right now. A little bit of trouble, but he's trying to drink away the woos there. Also pops. The Summer of Fire comes back out. Nobody cares about the Mercenary Camp. Myra is going to go down. And the Sundering connecting in the backline, though. We still see Chen giving chase. Dog's going to take the fall. Freak now pulling back. And Chen being played to a perfect T. Giving chase against Cerebro.